If you're over 60, I want you to imagine something for a moment. You finished dinner feeling proud of yourself. Maybe you ate a salad, some steamed vegetables, a light, healthy meal your doctor would probably approve of. Then you go to sleep believing you made one of the best choices possible for your heart and brain. But sometime during the night, your circulation changes. You wake up dizzy. Your speech feels slightly off. One arm feels strange. Your balance suddenly feels weaker than normal. Most people immediately blame sugar, fried food, processed snacks, or salt. But what if I told you that sometimes the problem starts with a vegetable? Not junk food, not fast food, a vegetable people call healthy. And after 60, certain vegetables can affect your circulation, hydration, blood pressure, or medication balance in ways most seniors never realize, especially at night. That's the part almost nobody talks about. Because your body at 65 does not process food the same way it did at 35. Your kidneys change. Your circulation changes. Your blood vessels stiffen. Your hydration signals weaken. And many older adults take medications that completely change how certain foods behave inside the body. That's why foods that once helped you can sometimes quietly work against you later in life. Now let me be very clear. This video is not about fear. And it's not about avoiding vegetables completely. It's about timing, balance, awareness, and understanding how your aging body responds differently. Today we're going through 9 vegetables many adults over 60 may need to eat more carefully, especially in the evening. And the final vegetable on this list is one millions of seniors eat every single week without realizing what it may be doing to their circulation overnight. Stay with me, because some of these may genuinely surprise you. Vegetable number 9, spinach. Now this one shocks people, because spinach has been praised for decades as one of the healthiest foods on earth. Iron, magnesium, antioxidants, fiber. Most people hear spinach and instantly think heart health, strength, longevity. But after 60, there's another side to this story very few people hear about. Spinach contains natural compounds called oxalates, and as the body ages, those compounds may become harder for some people to process efficiently, especially when kidney function slows or when someone takes calcium supplements regularly. That combination matters, because many older adults over 60 are already taking calcium, vitamin D, heart medications, or kidney-related medications. And when those factors combine, your body may react differently than expected. Some experts believe excessive oxalate buildup may contribute to circulation stress in sensitive individuals over time. Now, does this mean spinach is dangerous for everyone? No, but timing and moderation matter much more after 60. Many older adults tolerate spinach better earlier in the day when hydration and circulation are stronger, and some healthcare professionals recommend avoiding extremely large amounts late at night, especially alongside heavy supplements. This is why understanding your own body matters so much. One woman named Patricia, age 68, told me she used to eat massive spinach salads every evening because she thought she was doing everything perfectly for her health. But after discussing her routine with her doctor and adjusting meal timing and hydration, she said she began feeling more balanced and less sluggish in the mornings. Again, this isn't about eliminating healthy foods, it's about understanding context. Because after 60, even healthy foods sometimes come with rules. Vegetable number 8, broccoli. Now broccoli has one of the strongest healthy food reputations in the world, and honestly for many people it absolutely deserves that reputation. But there's one important issue older adults often overlook: vitamin K. Broccoli naturally contains vitamin K, which plays a role in blood clotting and circulation balance. Normally that's beneficial. But for seniors taking blood thinners or circulation medications, sudden large changes in vitamin K intake may sometimes affect how those medications behave. And this is where people accidentally create problems. Not because broccoli is bad, but because they go from eating almost none to eating huge amounts overnight. Or the opposite. One week, large bowls of broccoli every day. Next week, none at all. That inconsistency matters more than people realize, because many medications work best when diet remains relatively stable. That's why healthcare professionals often recommend consistency instead of extreme swings. Broccoli itself is not the enemy, but dramatic dietary changes after 60 can affect circulation balance more than they would in younger adults, especially when medications are involved. A man named Ronald, age 71, said he completely changed his diet after a health scare and suddenly started eating large amounts of broccoli every day. Later, after speaking with his physician, he realized the issue wasn't the vegetable itself. It was the sudden inconsistency combined with his medication routine. That distinction is incredibly important, because fear creates confusion, awareness creates control. Vegetable number 7, romaine lettuce. This one surprises almost everyone, because salad feels harmless, light, fresh, healthy, easy to digest. But here's what many adults over 60 never realize. Some leafy greens may contribute to fluid loss in certain people, especially later at night. And as we age, dehydration becomes much easier to miss. That's dangerous because many seniors no longer experience strong thirst signals the way younger adults do. You may already be mildly dehydrated without realizing it. Then imagine this: a very light dinner, blood pressure medication, an evening salad, less water intake, and overnight fluid loss while sleeping. Suddenly, your circulation may become less efficient by morning. That's why some older adults feel dizzy, weak, foggy, or unsteady after waking up. Again, this does not mean salad is bad. It means timing and hydration matter. Many people tolerate leafy greens much better earlier in the day when they're still moving, hydrating, and eating regularly. And if you eat greens in the evening, hydration becomes even more important. Sometimes the smallest details create the biggest changes after 60. Vegetable number 6, raw carrots. Now at first, this sounds ridiculous to some people. How could carrots possibly be a problem? After all, carrots are associated with eye health, vitamins, healthy snacking, and clean eating. But here's what matters after 60. Your metabolism changes, and many older adults develop some degree of insulin resistance or blood sugar instability without fully realizing it. That changes how the body reacts to certain foods at night. Raw carrots contain natural sugars that may raise blood sugar quickly in some individuals, especially when eaten alone. Then, later during sleep, blood sugar can dip again. And that overnight fluctuation may place extra stress on circulation and blood pressure regulation in sensitive adults. Especially when combined with poor sleep, dehydration, stress hormones, or diabetes medication. Now, does this mean carrots are unhealthy? Not at all. The issue is how and when they're eaten. Many nutrition professionals recommend pairing carbohydrates with protein or healthy fats to slow absorption. That means carrots may be easier on the body when combined with nuts, Greek yogurt, hummus, or other balanced foods. And many older adults tolerate them better earlier in the day rather than late at night. This is one of the biggest lessons people over 60 eventually learn. Food affects the aging body differently depending on timing, hydration, sleep, medications, and metabolic health. There is no one-size-fits-all. Vegetable number 5, garlic. Now, garlic is fascinating because many people think, if something is natural, more must be better. But after 60, that mindset can create problems. Garlic has been used for centuries to support heart health and circulation. And yes, many studies suggest it may help support healthy blood flow. But garlic also naturally affects clotting and circulation. That becomes important for seniors already taking aspirin, blood thinners, or circulation medications. Because combining multiple blood-thinning effects together may increase sensitivity in some individuals, especially in very large amounts or concentrated supplement forms. And honestly, this is where many people accidentally get into trouble. Not from normal cooking, from overdoing supplements. A lot of adults assume it's just garlic. But concentrated extracts behave differently than small amounts added to meals. That's why many healthcare professionals recommend caution with heavy supplementation unless approved by your physician. Cooked garlic in moderate amounts is usually very different from aggressive supplement use. One man named Walter, age 69, said he started taking multiple garlic supplements daily after reading articles online about circulation benefits. But after discussing his full routine with his doctor, he realized several supplements together were affecting him more strongly than expected. Again, awareness matters more than fear. Vegetable number 4. Onions. Now, onions are another food people rarely question. They're everywhere. Soups, salads, sandwiches, cooked meals. And onions do contain beneficial plant compounds linked to circulation and heart health. But some of those compounds may also affect blood pressure and blood vessel relaxation. That becomes more important after 60 because many older adults already take medications designed to do similar things. Now imagine this combination: blood pressure medication, mild dehydration, poor sleep, and a very heavy onion-rich dinner late at night. For some adults, that combination may contribute to overnight dizziness, weakness, or unstable blood pressure by morning. Again, moderation matters. Cooked onions are often tolerated differently than large amounts of raw onions. And timing matters too. Heavy meals late at night affect the body differently after 60 because circulation naturally slows during sleep. That's why some seniors feel dramatically different depending on when they eat certain foods. One woman named Elaine, age 66, noticed she consistently woke up lightheaded after very heavy late-night meals containing raw onions and salty foods. After adjusting meal timing and hydration, she said mornings became much easier. Small changes, big difference. Vegetable number 3, corn. Now this one catches many people off guard because most people think of corn as a vegetable, but nutritionally, corn behaves more like a starch, and after 60, blood sugar stability becomes much more important than many people realize. Corn can raise blood sugar relatively quickly in some individuals, especially processed corn products. Then comes the crash. And overnight blood sugar swings may place additional stress on circulation, blood pressure, sleep quality, and inflammation balance. This becomes even more important for adults dealing with prediabetes, diabetes, or metabolic syndrome. Now, does this mean you can never eat corn again? Of course not. The issue is quantity, timing, and balance. Many people tolerate smaller portions much better alongside protein, healthy fats, fiber, and hydration. Fresh corn is also very different from ultra-processed corn products. And late-night eating matters here too, because the body processes sugar differently during sleep than during active daytime hours. One thing I've noticed is this: many adults over 60 feel dramatically better simply by moving heavier starches earlier into the day. Not because those foods are evil, but because metabolism changes with age. Vegetable number 2, asparagus. Now, asparagus is often considered one of the cleanest, healthiest side dishes possible. But there's one important detail people overlook. Asparagus naturally has diuretic properties, meaning it may increase fluid loss in some individuals. And again, after 60, hydration becomes far more fragile than most people realize, especially for seniors already taking blood pressure medication, kidney medication, or prescription diuretics. Now imagine eating asparagus late at night, then sleeping for 7 or 8 hours with reduced fluid intake. For some adults, circulation may feel noticeably different by morning, less stable, more sluggish, more dehydrated. That's why many experts recommend focusing heavily on hydration as we age, not just during the day, but also around meals that may affect fluid balance. One man named Dennis, age 72, said he never realized how dehydrated he was becoming overnight until his doctor encouraged him to monitor evening hydration more carefully. The change surprised him, because sometimes the issue isn't one specific food, it's the combination: food, timing, medication, hydration, and age-related changes all interacting together. The final vegetable is next, and honestly, this one may surprise people the most. Vegetable number 1, tomatoes. Now this is the one that shocks people the most, because tomatoes are practically the symbol of healthy eating. Salads, soups, pasta sauce, juice, sandwiches. Most people never question them. But after 60, tomatoes may affect some adults very differently than expected. And the reason has less to do with tomatoes themselves, and more to do with how aging bodies respond to inflammation, acidity, circulation changes, and sensitivity to certain compounds. Tomatoes belong to the nightshade family, and while many people tolerate nightshades perfectly well, others become increasingly sensitive as they age. Especially adults already dealing with joint inflammation, circulation issues, blood pressure instability, digestive sensitivity, or nerve-related symptoms. Some people report headaches, flushing, dizziness, tingling sensations, or circulation discomfort after large tomato-heavy meals, especially late at night. Now here's where this becomes important. Aging blood vessels and nervous systems often become more reactive than they were decades earlier. That means foods tolerated easily at 40 may suddenly feel very different at 68. And many people never connect the dots because the symptoms don't happen immediately. Sometimes they appear hours later, overnight, or the next morning. Now this does not mean tomatoes are bad. In fact, cooked tomatoes contain beneficial antioxidants like lycopene that many researchers associate with heart health. But moderation and timing matter much more after 60. Many adults tolerate cooked tomatoes better than massive raw portions. And extremely heavy acidic meals late at night may affect sleep, hydration, circulation, or inflammation balance more than people realize. One woman named Carol, age 67, told me she began noticing nighttime headaches and morning dizziness after large pasta dinners loaded with tomato sauce. After reducing portion sizes and moving heavier meals earlier into the day, she said those episodes became far less frequent. Again, small adjustments, big difference. Now after hearing this list, some people may feel confused. Are vegetables suddenly dangerous now? No, that's not the message at all. The real message is this: after 60, your body becomes more sensitive to timing, hydration, medications, blood sugar swings, circulation changes, and inflammation balance. That changes everything. Because healthy aging is no longer just about, what should I eat? It becomes, when should I eat? How much? What medications am I taking? How hydrated am I? How does my body respond personally? That awareness is powerful. And honestly, this is where many seniors finally regain a sense of control over their health. Not through fear, not through extreme diets, not through eliminating every food they enjoy, but through smarter habits. For example, hydrating consistently, avoiding huge late-night meals, stabilizing blood sugar, maintaining regular meal timing, and paying attention to how foods interact with medications. Those changes matter enormously after 60. One thing I've learned listening to older adults over the years is this: the body whispers before it screams. Small symptoms often appear first: morning dizziness, brain fog, poor sleep, heavy legs, fatigue, unstable energy, or feeling off. Many people ignore those early signs because they assume, I'm just getting older. But sometimes the body is asking for adjustment, not surrender. Now let me say something important. This video is not medical advice. And every adult over 60 has different health conditions, medications, and nutritional needs. That's why working with your healthcare provider matters, especially if you take blood pressure medication, blood thinners, diabetes medication, or kidney-related medications. Because individualized guidance always matters more than internet fear. And honestly, fear is not the goal here, awareness is. Because when you understand how your body changes with age, you stop reacting emotionally to food and start making smarter decisions instead. That's real health wisdom. Now I'd love to ask you something. Which vegetable surprised you the most? And have you personally noticed certain foods affecting your sleep, circulation, or energy differently after 60? Leave your answer in the comments below. Your experience may help someone else watching this video tonight. And if you found this video useful, subscribe for more practical health discussions designed specifically for adults over 50 who want to stay sharp, independent, and informed as they age. Because growing older is not about giving up strength, it's about learning how your body works now, so you can protect it better for the years ahead.